everyone, welcome to Ace Online. Myself Ishwara, and in this particular video, we are just going to discuss a very important point or the very important topic which will help you in a near examination, which is nothing but GATE. Right? We all know that the exam date of GATE examination is very near. Now we are hardly having somewhere around 70 days or approximately 70 days, right? Now here we are having a huge syllabus and we all are getting worried how we are going to prepare it, how we are going to score our rank, how we can place ourselves in a good college or maybe in PSUs or maybe some other places where we want to go. Or there are so many questions which are arising in my mind, right? So here I am just going to tell you few points which might help you in your examination, in your preparation. And here in this particular video, we are just going to discuss how to score 15 out of 15, that is full marks in the GATE examination in general aptitude section. So here we are mainly going to talk about the general aptitude section, which is nothing but also known as a non-technical section. Non-technical section. Now we know that in a GATE examination we are having two sections. The first one is a technical part and the second one is a non-technical part. Now the technical part is common for all the students who are belonging from the same branches. It may be CS, it may be AI, it may be mechanical, it may be civil, it may be electrical, it may be electronics, it may be instrumental, or it may be some other branches from which you are going to write your exam, right? So technical paper is same for the respective branches, and everyone who is belonging from that particular branch is preparing for it, and almost all of them knows the facts and the formulas of that particular thing. Now the students are lacking where? As we know that here we are having two segments, so most of the students are lacking over here. They thought it like non-technical portion is very easy, we can easily able to attempt it and we can easily able to do it in last 5 or 10 days and we can just secure 15 out of 15 marks. I completely accept its point that general aptitude section is quite easy, but it's not that easy that you can only able to invest 5 days and maybe 10 days to get 15 out of 15 marks. But here in this particular video, we are just going to learn few ways through which you can able to score the maximum marks, and if you will put your 100% effort, then definitely you will get 15 out of 15 marks very easily in these 70 days. So in this particular video, we are mainly going to discuss about why general aptitude, why we are talking about this, why it do matters, what is the syllabus, and what type of questions they are asking, what are the important topics, and how we need to prepare for this one. So basically the preparation strategy is very important because now we know that we are having a very limited time period, and in this time period we have to take care of our technical as well as a non-technical portion, and at the same time we also have to revise it because in this time period we need to take time for the revision as well, right? So here this video is very important, so don't forget to share this video with your friends or with the known persons who are preparing for this competitive exam, right? So let's start with this video, and here the first topic that we are going to discuss, why general aptitude, right? Okay, so here why general aptitude matters. Here I'm writing few points over here. If you want to see those, you can see it, and ultimately we will discuss it one by one, or there are chances that I might discuss some more points which are not written over here, right? So please do listen it carefully. So in the general aptitude, we know that here we are having 10 questions. This is not written over here. In general aptitude, we are having 10 questions which we need to solve, right? Here we are having 5 questions of 1 mark each, and we are having 5 questions of 2 mark each, 2 marks each. Now we only have to solve these 10 questions and we can easily able to get 15 marks out of it, or maybe the maximum marks that we can achieve over here. Now the best part with the general aptitude is we have already learned, or we have already seen all those concepts or all those things which are under the general aptitude syllabus in our schooling section. All we need to do is we just simply need to brush up our concepts so that we can just able to get full marks or maybe the maximum marks from 15, right? Now the best part, again the best part in general aptitude, it's common for all branches and the syllabus is same as well. It's not like for mechanical I'm having different syllabus, for civil I'm having different syllabus, for computer science I'm having different syllabus. It's not like that. I'm having a same syllabus for all the branches, right? So sometimes we just like want to discuss few things with friends, but they are from different branches, so you can discuss the subject with them also, right? So you know that as I have told you, here we do have two segments, right? Technical and the non-technical. Now if you will see the non-technical section having the high weightage, it's carrying a very high weightage. So GA is 15% of your total GATE score, which is nothing but the 15 marks. So this is a subject which carries a 15, or we can say the maximum marks or the maximum weightage in your whole GATE paper. So what you can do, we know that technical paper or the technical portion can be attempted by any student which belong from the respective branch, right? But here general aptitude is something which can boost your score, which will like help you to secure your rank or your place in your desired college, or maybe some PSUs, or maybe the places where you want to go. So please do focus on the general aptitude as well, or we can see the non-technical portion as well, right? Now the questions are predictable and easier than the technical section. Yes, it is. Why I'm saying this point? Because as I have told you that all those subjects or all those topics that we are having under the general aptitude, we have already seen it somewhere in our maybe in our schooling, or maybe when we are preparing some competitive exams, right? We have already seen all those things, or we have already studied about all those things. All we need to do is we just simply need to revise them, or we just simply need to brush up our concepts so that we can like attempt the coming questions very easily, right? High chances of scoring full marks with smart preparation. So basically we need to focus on learning the logic instead of like working hard in it. Now the time is very crucial, as we are having somewhere around 70 days, so we need to work smart, right? So for this, how we need to plan for it and what are the steps that we need to take, we are all going to discuss in this particular video. Now let's try to understand what is a breakdown of the general aptitude section. Now specifically if we do talk about the general aptitude section, it is bifurcated into the three segments. The first one is the verbal ability. That means you can say your English section, right? The second one is the quantitative aptitude, which carries a maximum weightage in it. It carries a maximum weightage, right? And the third one is the reasoning. In this one, you are having your logical as well as the critical reasoning. Sometimes some people do consider this critical reasoning under the verbal ability. It's completely your choice in what section you are like considering it. I personally do consider it in the reasoning section, because here we are having a separate section of critical reasoning, right? If we do talk about the marks bifurcation, so from verbal ability we are having around 2 to 3 marks questions. From quantitative aptitude we are having 6 to 8 marks question. From reasoning, or we can say from logical plus critical reasoning, here we are having 5 to 6 marks approximately, right? These are the approximately weightage that we are having for the specific subjects or the topics that we are having. Now what are the type of questions that these people are asking, right? So here we are having NAT, in which we are not having any option, we just simply need to write the answer directly. The second one is MSQ, that means there are multiple correct options over here, so we need to select all of them. And the third one is the MCQ. Here we are having 4 options and we have to opt one. Now, is there any negative marking? Yes, we do have it, but we do have negative marking in the MCQs only. There is no negative marking for the NAT and the MSQs question till now, right? So here we also need to take care of the negative marking as well. It's not like we are just randomly guessing the answer and we are just taking it because ma'am said it's very easy, so we can easily able to do that. No, it's not like that. At the same time, we also have to use our mind so that we can able to attempt the correct answer. Here, like, we are having many type of approaches through which we can just increase our accuracy and the speed as well. As if you have seen any of the video of mine in which I am teaching, I just do suggest people to use the elimination approach. I do suggest this elimination approach. Now, what is this elimination approach? It's not like you can only able to use this elimination approach in the non-technical section. No, it's not like that. You can able to use this elimination approach in a technical section as well, or in like daily life, or maybe in other examination as well. Now, what it is? Everyone is aware about a show that is KBC, right? Kaun Banega Crorepati. Now in this one we are having different lifelines, right? And one of the lifeline that we are having, which we call 50-50, right? Which we call 50-50. Now what does that mean and how they are like opting 50-50? So basically we know that in the MCQ or in the MSQ, I'm not talking about the NST, in both of them we are having 4 options, right? We are having 4 options, right? Okay. In the MSQ, we know that from 4 options, there are chances that all 4 are correct, maybe 3 are correct, maybe 2 are correct, or maybe only 1 is correct. But in MCQ, we know that only 1 option is correct. Only 1 option is correct. That means if I am having 4 options, every option is having 25% chances to be correct, right? Now, elimination approach says that we have to just simply go through the given options that we are having. As we have gone through, sometimes our gut feeling says that, yes, this cannot be my answer. I don't know the correct answer maybe, but this cannot be my answer. Or maybe with I know the logic or I know the concept, with that also I can say that this cannot be my answer, right? कभी कभार ऐसा होता है कि हम लोग क्वेश्चन को देखते ही बोल देते ये आंसर तो कभी नहीं हो सकता, right? Let's suppose there's one question over here, and from that I can easily able to say that this B can never be my answer. B मेरा आंसर कभी नहीं हो सकता. So I just simply eliminated it, right? मैंने ये ऑप्शन ही हटा दिया, ठीक है? अब every option is having only 33, 1/3% of chances to be correct, right? अब इन 3 ऑप्शन बचे, 3 में से मुझे select करना. Let's suppose I have put some logic and I can able to get some ways to solve it, but in between I got to know that if I'll just go through this logic, this D भी मेरा आंसर नहीं हो सकता. D cannot be my answer. So this option is also eliminated. Now I'm left with 2 options and both of them is having a probability of 50-50%. So similar kind of thing is happening in the KBC, and all I can say that like elimination approach is like generated or inspired from the KBC only, right? So here in the examination, this approach will help you to increase your accuracy. As we know that it's not necessary that we only have to be fast, right? Being fast is important. At the same time, we also have to be accurate. I can say that we also have to maintain our accuracy. Both things are important in the examination, accuracy as well as the speed. So whenever you are going to write your examination or your mock test as well, right, please try to focus on your speed as well as accuracy, right? Okay, so as we have discussed over here, right, what is the breakdown of the general aptitude section, what are the type of questions we are having, and whether there is a negative marking or not, right? Now we need to discuss what are the important topics that we are having for the respective subjects we are having, or maybe the topics we are having. So as we know that verbal ability only carries 2 to 3 marks. If you have seen the previous year question papers, you can easily able to see that from past 2 to 3 years they are asking very easy kind of questions, and we can easily able to attempt those, right? But still we have to focus on few of the sections that we are having, right? So here key focus area in the verbal ability section. The first one is the English grammar. English grammar we have already studied in our schooling. We have studied from, I guess, from first class. Like we have, like, maybe not from the first class, maybe we have studied it from the third standard till 12th. I personally studied it from third standard. Maybe before that I was learning ABCD or some alphabets or maybe some words. But as far as I remember, I started learning the articles and like noun pronoun kind of thing when I was in third standard, right? So English grammar, here we are having noun, articles, pronouns, like prepositions and so many other things. So we have to take up, like, we have to brush up our all the grammar that we have studied in our schooling, right? I'm not saying that go in the depth, but at least study some of the basic rules, and you can easily able to identify that, like, okay, this can be used as this can be used as that, right? Okay, now the sentence completion, or we can say the fillers, or you can also say it in the simpler term, that is filling blanks. Now it totally depends the type of the question that we are having. As we have already discussed, we are having 1 mark question as well as we are having 2 mark question, right? So in the 1 mark question, maybe there are chances that you are only having like one filler, right? But as I've told you, there are chances, if the questions, the similar kind of question is asked in the 2 mark question, then there are chances that they might ask you 2 fillers or the 2 filling the blanks in the same statement, right? So please do focus on this on this portion as well. And the third one is the synonyms and the antonyms. Synonyms, that means the similar kind of words. Antonyms, that means the opposite, right? So we have to focus on this part as well, right? The fourth one is a vocab, and the fifth one is the error spotting. So we can say that this one, this one, this one, or this one, and ultimately or indirectly this one also can be improved by a single thing, which I personally like suggest people, and I personally do that. Still I'm doing that, because ultimately we have to like update ourselves day by day. So what you can do, you can read any of the newspaper you like, or maybe some like news app you can download in your phone, and you can just simply go through some articles. Ultimately you got to know how the words are used in a sentence, and what is the formation of the sentence, what are the prepositions, and what are the articles we are using it, like before noun, after noun, and how the prepositions are used. You can also learn vocab from there, as we all, like, if I just simply go through any newspaper, like let's suppose I do talk about the Hindustan Times, right? So I'm definitely get some random kind of word which is very new to me. I'm not able to get the sense of it, or maybe I'm not able to get the meaning of it. So from there, what I'll do, I'll just simply search it on the Google, and I can easily able to understand what does that mean. So ultimately by doing this, I'm learning a new word from it, right? So ultimately my vocab is improving. From I can also able to know that, okay, this word can be used in this way. So what are the similar words and what are the opposite words, I can think in my mind, like in the back side of mind, I can just able to think it, right? So synonyms, antonyms, English grammar, and everything can be covered by that. So what you can do, just take 5 minutes of yours in a day, just simply 5 minutes. I'm not asking more from you. In a whole day you can easily able to spare 5 minutes in a day, and you can read any article you want, or you might like. Maybe you can also able to read newspaper. So ultimately it will help you to improve your grammar as well as your communication skills. Ultimately we know that we also have to fight the interview, so at that point also it will help you a lot, right? So basically these are the few important points that we need to take care in the verbal ability. Now let's move further. Let's talk about the quantitative aptitude. As I've already told you, this is a topic which carries the maximum weightage in the general aptitude as well, right? So what are the important topics? So here we are having percentage and its application. In its application we are having like SI, simple interest, compound interest, right? Right, and we do have like the multiple things over here. In quantitative aptitude we are having two main, or we can say most important topics that we are having: percentage and ratio and proportion. Basically these are the those topics which will able to solve up to 70 to 80% of the question if you don't know the basic concept of it. Let's suppose there's some question of time, speed and distance. I'm not able to recall the formula, although formula is very simple, which is nothing but distance is equals to speed into time. This is the only formula that we are using. All we need to do is we need to take care of the units that we are having, right? But here with the help of the percentage or the ratio and proportion, still we can able to solve up to 70 to 80% of this particular question. Similarly goes with the time and work and the data interpretation and so many other topics. So start working on these two topics on the very initial level, because ultimately you are going to see that if we are using the short tricks as well, we are making the short tricks with the help of the ratio or the percentage only, right? So here the next topic that we are having, which is very important, that is ratio and proportion, and we can say the averages. Here we do have the mixtures as well. In this one, mixtures and allegations, we do have this topic under the ratio and proportion as well, right? The next one is a permutation combination. Ultimately this is a very easy question, but we do make silly mistakes and we got the wrong answer. Basically permutation is nothing but, permutation combination says that here first what we need to do, we need to like pick it, and after that we need to arrange it. Combination says that we have to pick, or we can say we have to select the things, right? And permutation says that we have to arrange it. What we need to do, we need to arrange it. This is an important thing that we should know, that here what we are having, in some of the questions we are having choices and some of the questions we are not having any choices, right? So here what is common mistake that people are making of using this addition and the multiplication. Student might get confused where I have to use the addition and where I have to use the multiplication, right? So when you are having choices, you have to use addition. When you are having no choice, then you have to use multiplication, right? So basically these are the key points that you need to take care while attempting the questions based on this, right? The next one is probability. We all aware about the probability. Probability is nothing but equal to the number of favorable events divided by the total sample space, or the total events that we are having. So the another important topic that we are having over here is a probability. The next one is time and work. If you like seeing this particular names, you can easily able to recall, yes I have studied this and that, maybe in that standard, like ऐसे याद आ रहा होगा यार इनको तो पढ़ रखा है हमने. हाँ, ये सारे टॉपिक्स वही हैं जो हमने कहीं ना कहीं पढ़ रखे हैं. All we need to do is we just simply need to brush up our concept, right? The next topic that we are having over here is time, speed and distance, and the next one is the data interpretation. Data interpretation is ultimately very easy kind of topic. All we need to do is we just simply need to observe the tables or maybe the given figures very carefully, and we have to retrieve data from it. हमें बस ये आना चाहिए कि उसमें से data कैसे retrieve करना है. If we know how to retrieve data from the tables or from the figures, then we can easily able to solve any of the questions based on the data interpretation, because ultimately we have to do either the like any mathematical operation over there, mathematical operation on the numbers that we are having, or maybe we have to find out the average, maybe we have to find out the total, maybe we have to like compare values, maybe we have to find the percentage, or maybe I have to find out the ratio and so many other things, right? So data interpretation is ultimately a very easy topic. All we need to do is we need to focus how to get data from the given figure or maybe given table or given chart, right? So basically these are the few important topics that we need to focus in the quantitative aptitude. Now we are still left with one topic or the one subject, that is reasoning. So let's switch towards the reasoning, and these are the key area of that we need to focus in the reasoning. In the reasoning, here we are having the analytical, logical as well as the critical reasoning, right? So here the first point that we are having over here is direction sense. We know that we are having four basic directions, that is nothing but the north, east, south, west. We are having the four cardinal directions as well, which is nothing but northeast, southeast, southwest and northwest, right? We all aware about this. We know that these are present on the 90-degree and these are present on the 45-degree. All we need to do is we just simply need to take care of the left right turns, right? The next one is a blood relation. Blood relations, here we do know the relatives and ultimately we have to find out the relations with the given statements, maybe the puzzles or maybe the coded ones, right? The next one is a coding decoding. In the coding decoding we do have the alphabets as well as the numbers, right? So what we need to do, we just simply code it some with some number, maybe some alphabet, some line with some logic, and we have to determine that, right? The next one is data sufficiency. Data sufficiency also sometimes do comes under the quantitative aptitude topic. So here data sufficiency as well. In the data sufficiency, all the topics that we are having under a certain topic like quantitative aptitude or maybe the reasoning, all are covered under this one. So basically in the data sufficiency we are having one question, and basically we have to determine whether we can able to get the answer of this with the help of the given statements that we are having in it, right? हम उसका आंसर फाइंड आउट कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, हमें डेटा सफिशिएंसी में इतना ही फाइंड आउट करना होता है, राइट? The next one is alphanumeric series, which says that here we are having in the series which we are having the alphabets as well as the numbers. In this one you can able to bifurcate into again into the missing series and the wrong series, right? In the missing series, one of the number or one of the alphabet or maybe the combination of it is missing, and we have to determine the logic first, and accordingly we can easily able to get the answer. In the wrong series, whole series is given. There's one given alphanumeric portion which is not fitted in it, right? All the alphabets or maybe all the numbers or maybe the all alphanumeric codes are following that particular logic apart from that wrong one, right? The next one is decision making. In the decision making, what we are having, like we have to take decision if some situation has happened, then how we are going to react it, right? The next one is a critical reasoning. If specifically I do talk about the critical reasoning, then I can say that in the critical reasoning I am having the statements, and now I am not writing statement again. So we are having statement and arguments. We are having statement and assumptions. We are having statement and conclusions, right? We do have cause and effect. We do have the strong statement and the weak statement or the weak arguments. So we do have these kind of terms, or we can say these type of subtopics under the critical reasoning. As I've told you, few people do consider this critical reasoning under the verbal ability section. It's completely depends on the teacher or maybe the faculty from which you are learning, right? The next one is the sitting arrangement and the puzzles. In the sitting arrangement and the puzzles, you are having some random given clues for a specific kind of arrangement, and what you need to do, you need to retrieve all the hints or all the clues all together so that you can make a puzzle or you can easily able to solve a puzzle, right? The next one is the syllogisms. In the syllogisms, what you are having statement, on the basis of that you are having your conclusions. Now with the help of the basic diagrams, you have to check whether these given conclusions are following this particular thing or not. You can also write inequalities over here. In the inequality as well, we are having a similar kind of thing. So you can write syllogisms oblique inequality over here. In the syllogisms, we are having the verbal kind of words, like we do have the sentence and the statements, where in the inequality we do have the alphabets and the signs that we are having. Signs like greater than, smaller than, equal to, greater than, smaller than, and equal to, greater than, and equal to, right? Like this. The next one is the analogies and the classification. Analogy is thing like we are having words in which we are like they are like present with some relation or with some bond, and we have to identify, or we have to apply the same logic with the given one. Classification, here we have to like say we instead of finding the odd one out, we have to focus on the group formation. The other name of classification is odd one out. Odd one out. The other name of the classification is the odd one out. So basically these are the three subjects that we have discussed, which comes under the general aptitude. We have already discussed the syllabus of it, right? And why general aptitude do matters, right? Because ultimately it will boost our rank, because anyone can easily able to attempt the technical portion, as everyone is learning that. The main segment which can easily help you is the general aptitude section, because again it carries the highest weightage and it is easier as well, right? Now what is the key action plan? Daily GA practice at least 1 hour. In this 1 hour you can just separate accordingly, like for 30 minutes for the quantitative aptitude, 20 minutes for your reasoning, and the 10 minutes for verbal, right? Consistency is a key for aptitude. Basically now you are only having 70 days. It's not like you can get more time, so you can just simply able to do practice on the daily basis, right? Focus on the PYQs, the best practice material that you are having over here. Time management, aim to complete GA in less than 15 minutes. This is nothing but this is less than 15 minutes. What we need to do, we need to focus on time management as well. We have to save our time. So please try to solve all those 15 questions in less than 15 minutes, right? During your mocks as well as in the final paper. Maintain short notes for the quick and the fast or the last minute revision. Now the resources that you can do, the best resource that you are having over here is PYQ book or the PDF. You can like take it from any place you want to, or you can also able to download it from the Google, right? So please do download the PDFs or the or get some PYQ book and टेक चैप्टर वाइज बुक, राइट? कोई ऐसी चैप्टर वाइज बुक लो जहाँ पे मतलब या कोई ऐसी बुक लो जहाँ पे हमें चैप्टर वाइज क्वेश्चंस मिल जाए, सो दैट जैसे जैसे हमारा चैप्टर होता जा रहा है हम क्वेश्चंस सॉल्व करते जा रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे इन रिसोर्सेज का ध्यान रखना है. फॉर द स्पेसिफिक सब्जेक्ट्स यू कैन ऑप्ट अकॉर्डिंगली, राइट? सब बच्चे अपने अपने हिसाब से लेते हैं. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू टेक एनी नेम ओवर हियर. If you want to get any specific names, you can just ping us on our helpline or like help desk. We will help you over there, right? So these are the main resources. Like for the quantitative aptitude, you can follow the Arun Sharma, like this, like journal app. For verbal ability as well, you can follow the Arun Sharma. It's a very good book. But again, as I'm saying, I'm not taking any specific name. You can just go through as per your choices, right? There are many books which are available over here. If you know or if you want any specific help, you can just ping us to us, right? Or you can just simply reach out to us, right? Now, how ACE is helping you? As we are conducting so many sessions on the YouTubes, we are also taking the live classes, we are providing the pre-recorded courses and so many other things. But there's one more thing which we are providing is we are conducting the pre-GATE 2026 paper, which is going to be conducted on 18th of January 2026. This is an online exam which you can able to give by scanning this QR code. What you can do, you can just simply enroll yourself, and you have to enroll yourself because ultimately you will get an environment of GATE examination, and at least you can able to feel how it is, लाइक हमें एक फील होगा कि हाँ गेट का पेपर इस तरीके से होता है एंड दिस इज द एनवायरमेंट दैट आई एम गोइंग टू गेट इन द actual gate examination, right? So here there are 2 sessions in which you can enroll as per the branches. So there's a forenoon session which is like started from 9:30 a.m. in the morning for EC and IN branches, 10:30 a.m. for the ME and the CS branch, right? CSIT branch. There's an afternoon session which is going to be started from 2:30 p.m. and it's for EC and the PI, and another is at 3:30 p.m. for the EE and DA, right? Now these are the important dates that we need to do. Take care, is the last date to apply for this pre-gate 2026. The last date is 16th of January 2026. Exam is on 18th January 2026 and the last date to apply for this pre-gate 2026 is 16th Jan 2026 and result will be announced on 19th of January 2026. As per my personal suggestion, or if I am also a student, then again I'll suggest this, please do attempt these kind of paper. This will definitely help you to give you an environment as well as you sense, or as well as you will able to determine your level in your gate examination. अभी इसके बाद भी हमारे पास कुछ दिनों का टाइम रहेगा. इफ वी आर लाइक हमारा कुछ ऊपर नीचे भी रहता है, एटलीस्ट वी आर हैविंग सफिशिएंट टाइम to improve ourselves, or at least we got to know, okay, this kind of environment or this type of questions they are asking, so we can prepare ourselves in that way in the last time period as well, right? So with this one I am just signing off. Till then, keep smiling, stay safe, bye bye, and all the very best from the whole ACE team.